Please introduce yourself now.
I am Sundar Balakrishnan. I am 34. I work in an IT company as a business development manager. Is that a good enough introduction?
Yeah, thank you. And how did you get into this Anna Hazare and against corruption?
I had been for a long time wanted to do something for the country which made me what I am today. So I've been looking for a good opportunity where I can go for a noble cause instead of just going and doing something for the sake of doing it. So Anna Hazare's message did ring a bell for me, and I thought it's a good place to put my effort in. So I joined the organization to support him, and it's a good cause. So that's the reason why I went there.
Do you think this will end corruption in India?
Certainly not 100%, but it's a small step towards that goal. As I always say, this is a battle won, but it's a long war. But it will take some time, but we are not going to be eradicating corruption for all, but at least from the lower end, so that the basic necessities and all these things, you don't need to be corrupt to live in this world, at least in India. So that's our goal. So will we be able to achieve 100% eradication of corruption? No, but at least it's a small step towards that direction.
Do you think everyone will support this force against corruption?
We expect that to happen, but I'm not sure whether it will happen, because the corruption has been embedded into our society right now. So it is tough to get out of it, but hopefully it will happen. Even if you look at the freedom struggle, people were so cozy with British rule. It was tough to get them out in the streets and fight against it and eventually attain freedom. So I hope similar thing will happen right here also.
How many days did you fast in this protest?
I started 2 days after Annaji started. So factually to say, I fasted for 8.5 days continuously without any food, just water.
How many people approximately attended the fast?
In Chennai alone, we started with 35 people. They started, as I said, they started with Annaji 2 days before me. But when we stopped our fast on the request from Team Anna, we were 18 of them who were there at that point of time. So it's like 18 people fasted for 10 plus days. So that's what it is.
Did the fast went smoothly, or was there any problems for them?
No, not at all. Even if you look at it, there are so many college students who came. They also organized rallies, bike rallies, car rallies, and even student marches in the city. And even the police appreciated the assistant commissioner. I'm not too sure who it is. I think it's assistant commissioner who appreciated and then said he was surprised that we were able to control so many students and no harm done to any public places or public property or any public at all. It's all very peaceful. The march, be it the marches or the rallies or the candlelit light vigil, everything, they all were peaceful. Because that's what Anna wanted. Even our voices were peaceful. Even it was burning inside. None of us uttered a wrong word ever.
Who do you think should attend this fast and go against corruption? Who are all the people who are must in this?
Must in the sense, I would say people who are affected by corruption, and also those who really love their country and want to see the country grow much faster than what it is today, and those who really care about the country should be there. Not necessarily to fast, at least if they can just show their support, come out in the street and writing letters or calling MPs or whatever. There are so many ways to protest, not necessarily fasting. So I'm not saying everybody should come and sit with us and do the fasting. There are other ways to contribute. We can gather funds, gather friends, write to MPs, go in front of MP's house and ask them to support this bill. Show people's power. This is our government. This is not their, this is not politicians' government. This is people's government. So show that back to them. That's it.
So what do you want to tell to this younger generations like me?
It's the same thing what I have realized through this protest. I also was skeptical when I started that, this mode of protest may not even to make the politician turn their even head. I thought, ahimsa is not the way to go with the current politicians. But after the fast and what we have achieved so far, I think ahimsa is also a way to achieve what you need. You don't need violence. There is ways to do that with violence as well, but with ahimsa what you do is you make the opponent understand your pain. They don't really forget that easily. So I would say, like me, you will also understand that ahimsa has much more power than violence. So that's what I would like to tell the youngsters. The other thing is like, don't take everything for granted. You may be well off, but if you just let this corruption grow, you won't be able to sustain the growth what we are achieving right now. And the growth what we are achieving right now is not reaching all the mass just because of corruption. Look at the roads in villages, look at the facilities in the villages. If you go and really look at the government records, there is supposed to be a pipeline, there is supposed to be a road, and all the money has been taken for putting a road and pipelines and all those things, but you don't see any evidence of a pipeline or a road. So what do you think it is? It's because of the corruption. Unless you, the young force, get up and fight for it, nobody else can. So I would advise and request you guys to take up to the streets, fight peacefully. I'm not saying throw stones at the buses, that's against our principles. Fight for it peacefully, even if you are getting beaten by police. This is your country, it is your country, it's up to you to take it where you want to. That's all I can tell to the youth.
If Anna Hazare's dream came true, will the problems in India be solved, like poverty and shortage of food?
Yes, if you look at it right, first thing is like from the corruption itself, I always said a corruption-free government or a corruption-free country will be poverty-free country, because facilities will be given to the poor and they will know how to stand on their own and all those things. And it's not going to solve all the problems. Like similarly, if you look at Anna Hazare's speeches earlier, anti-corruption movement is only one step. He has other things in plan for the next generation and forth. If you look at, he's talking about electoral reforms, wherein you will be able to recall your MP. Like in US, you can, if you voted for somebody and you don't like him anymore, you can recall them. In India, you can't. Once you select somebody, they'll be there for 5 years. So towards that end, similar to that, and also funding of the parties by the government and all these things, he's going for electoral reforms, agricultural reforms. Look at it, earlier we were the supplier of food to the whole lot of countries outside. Now we are importing food materials. It's not good. You cannot live without food. You can live without IT, you can live without computers, but you cannot live without food. That's something our people should understand. Don't just go ahead and then make every agricultural land into plots and sell it. How many homes everybody needs? Then everybody needs 10 homes. Who's going to live in it? Don't spoil the agriculture. That's our backbone. Will remain our backbone. Should remain our backbone. So those are the reforms Anna is going to fight after this. So we'll stand right behind him, because he's an honest person and he's not doing it for himself.
So how do you feel after taking part in the fast for our country?
To be frank, I don't feel tired, or I'm not feeling weak or anything, because I think the reason, the cause behind why we fought is a noble cause. I think that gave us strength, And also, when I was fasting, the person next to me was 81 years old and he was of perfect health all the 10 days. So he is an inspiration, and I never felt anything bad. I never felt tired. I actually wanted to do something more, or do some physical work during the fasting, but the volunteers didn't allow me. But from my standpoint, I don't feel weak. I'm feeling normal. But it's a surprise for myself, because I do get headaches if I don't eat for a single time. Single mean if I don't eat, I get a lot of headaches. I didn't get a single headache for all 10 days. So that's surprising, and I think it's because of the cause for which we are fighting. So that's what I put it as.
Thank you very much for spending your time with us.
Thanks for providing the opportunity.